Hi teacher, we are the group number 5 and we are going to talk about the andragogy theory by Malcolm Knowles. I am Carolina Rivera. Malcolm Knowles was born on August in 1913 in Livingston and died on November 1997. He was a pioneer in adult education. He developed an andragogical model against the traditional pedagogical model that takes into account the specific characteristics of the adults in the learning process. He introduced the theory of andragogy as the art and science of helping adults learn. He believed that adults need to be active participants in their own learning. What is andragogy? The term andragogy can be supposedly equivalent to the term pedagogy. Andragogy in Greek means man leading in comparison to pedagogy, which means child leading. However, it should be noted that the term pedagogy has been used since the ancient Greeks time, while Alexander Kapp, a German educator, first used the term andragogy in 1833. According to Malcolm Knowles, andragogy is the art and science of adult learning. Thus, andragogy refers to any form of adult learning. Knowles' theory and andragogy is an attempt to develop a theory specifically for adult learning. Thank you.
Hi, teacher. I'm Brian Tupanta. There are 6 main characteristics of adult learners according to Malcolm Knowles. 1. Adult learning is self-directed autonomous. Adult learners are actively involved in the learning process such that they make choices relevant to their learning objectives. 2. Adult learning utilizes knowledge and life experiences. Under this approach, educators encourage learners to connect their past experiences with their current knowledge base and activities. 3. Adult learning is goal-oriented. The motivation to learn is increased when the relevance of the lesson to real-life situation is clear, particularly in relation to the specific concerns of the learner. 4. Adult learner is relevancy-oriented. One of the best ways for adults to learn is by relating to assigned tasks to their own learning goals. 5. Adult learning highlights practicality. Placement is a means of helping students to apply to theoretical concepts learned inside the classroom into a real-life situation. 6. Adult learning encourages collaboration. Adult learners thrive in collaborative relationships with their educators when learners are considered by their instructors as colleagues. They become more productive. Thank you.
Hi teacher, I am Stephanie Flores. I am going to talk about differences between pedagogy and andragogy. Pedagogy, it refers to education in being spheres your own life human being. Consider the experiences of apprentice only as a point of reference, present a provision uniform to learn, guide learning to subjects, based motivation and rewards and punishments in content oriented. Andragogy refers to education of adults, consider the experiences of the you learn as a resource valuable for learning, develop readiness for learn from homework and problems, guide learning towards these tasks and problems. Next, please. Similarities of andragogy and pedagogy. They have the same objective, both apply teaching and learning methodologies, look for innovations in the educational process to achieve a more comprehensive and meaningful learning, In the educational process, the two sciences made the same elements: student, objective of education, the environment where the education act takes place. Thank you, teacher.
Hey teacher, I'm Jason Solis. I'm going to talk about andragogy according to educational ideologies. According to knowledge, andragogy can be democratic and egalitarian ideology. Andragogy is applied to the education for the human being without looking at the biological or psychological age that is present. An educational environment is basically characterized according to knowledge by these characteristics. 1, respect for the personality. 2, participation in making decisions. 3, freedom of expression and availability of information. And 4, the mutuality of responsibility to define goals, plans, and direct activities and evaluate. Knowledge characterizes democratic philosophy as a concept for develop of people, a deep conviction regarding the value of each person, and the belief that the people can be make the right decision for themselves if given the necessary information and support. Next, please. Now I'm going to explain an example of andragogy. Knowledge provides an example of applying andragogy principles to the design of personal computer training. 1, there is need to explain why specific things are being taught. For example, certain commands, functions, and operations. 2, instructions should be text-oriented instead of memorization learning activities. Should be in the context of common tasks to be performed. 3, instruction should take into account the wide range of different backgrounds of learners. Learning materials, activities should allow different levels or types of previous experience with computers. And the last, science adults are self-direct. Instruction should allow learners to discover things for themselves, provide guidance, and help when the mistakes are made. And that's all. Thank you.
There are some reference about the topic. Thank you, teacher. It is all. I hope you like our presentation.